pathologists get the tissue first and they do with it what they want. And then currently the model is that then the tissue, if there is any left, then goes on for molecular diagnostics.
So is that because molecular pathologists are likely to be younger, and therefore the older, wiser person says, I'll have it first, and if you're lucky, you can have some of it afterwards?
But I think it's just moving to a paradigm shift, that the diagnosis is no longer solely made on the histopathology.
All the histopathologists are all retiring.
But the diagnosis
is there a histopathologist here I'm insulting?
I think you've probably got a self-selecting group, because any pathologists here, they've come to a genomics event.
Yeah, are the pathologists here?
So I think these would be the sort of the more molecular pathologists are here who do recognise the value of the combined morphological diagnosis along with the molecular diagnosis. But that even on a very physical level, because the histopathologists tone the little bit of the block, and then it goes to molecular pathologists who may actually be in a different building or a different lab, and they then tone the block again and start again. And by that point, there may just not be enough left. So they're just very sort of practical things around sharing out the resource and seeing value in both types of diagnosis.
Okay, Glenn.
So there's an important individual who can really mess things up right from the beginning, and that's the person who's taking the biopsy. And that's either going to be an interventional radiologist or a surgeon. And the type of biopsy...
Have we got any of those here? Any of those here? It's all right, you can insult those.
You know, it depends on the type of biopsy you're taking. Initially, the patient may well be having a diagnostic biopsy. That may be a core. We used to do fine needle aspirations back when I was a trainee. In breast cancer, for example, we did open biopsies. These days, it does tend to be a core, and those cores have got smaller now. They're something the size of a matchstick. If it's an excision biopsy for an attempt at a curative surgery, then obviously you're going to get a very large lesion. If it's a hemicolectomy, you will get the entire half of the colon dumped in a bucket full of formaldehyde, where it may well sit for the best part of 3 days, depending upon how long it takes it to get to the laboratory. If you're taking a biopsy from a patient with metastatic disease, in an attempt to try and understand what the lesion's molecular profile is now compared to historically, then you may well be biopsying normal tissue by accident. My first ever liver biopsy report came back as normal kidney. You can make mistakes. You may get
seriously?
Yes. I didn't live that one
giving
down.
up medicine then?
I was very young. Then you may get necrotic tissue. The centre of these lesions are quite necrotic. So there is many opportunities for what the histopathologist receives to either be of no use from the outset or have been mishandled on numerous occasions before they actually get to that point.
Glenn, what's your view?
I'll use this one still. I seem to be the only one with a microphone of my own. I think it was clear from our conversation beforehand that the vast majority of issues are upstream around sample collection and about the chain of custody of that sample. So we tend to get involved much later in the process and maybe look at sample integrity of the extraction of the nucleic acid and the sample preparation. So my question is, going back to what the question is around, is what can we actually control in this process here? Because perhaps if we are unable to maybe get a better biopsy, because that's way beyond my control, perhaps what we can do to make better sample preparation downstream to ensure that our rubbish samples that we're getting at the end are actually well used in our genetic analysis, and I think that's where we tend to come in.
And it could actually just be from the patient point of view that all of this, what it's doing, is leading us to a future where actually you don't have a breast cancer anymore, or you have it in your breast, but it's not regarded as a breast cancer, it's just simply a cancer that's got this, and this. And we stop thinking about site-specific and go down a completely different road of describing cancer.
From a drug development point of view, that would need a mindset change with the regulatory authorities, because at the moment, drug development in oncology is aimed at delivering drugs to treat specific cancers or specific subtypes of cancers, and that's what the regulatory authorities are set up to do. if you're running a study in North America that includes lung patients, ovarian patients, and lymphoma patients, you may well be talking to 2 or 3 different parts of the FDA, which makes things even more complicated in the outcome at the moment. So I agree with you, that's the way we should be going, but it would require a major mindset change.
Okay, we've got a question or a
yes.
provocation.
Yes, a provocation.
Good.
I mean,
we like provocation.
all my career, I've been hearing that you can't do this, that, or the other because the pathologists won't allow it. So
And are you
I
a
guess,
pathologist?
No, I'm not. I'm a molecular biologist, and I develop products for the research market. But it's just very stultifying to keep hearing this conference after conference. So I would ask are we heading to a future 5 years down the road where there are no more histopathologists and the tissue goes fresh frozen into molecular diagnostic pathway?
Claire?
Well, that's what we're hoping. I don't know if you were here earlier, we presented our work on vacuum packing and refrigeration. But it's in part the pathologists, it's in part, certainly in this country, no one takes ownership of that tissue between theatres and when it arrives in pathology. So that's 96 hours sloshing around in a bucket of formalin. That's no one's problem. And that's one of the issues. And then in theatres, they'll stick the large surgical specimens into formalin tick, it's being fixed, and that's actually penetrating at 1 millimetre an hour. So if you put a whole mastectomy sample in there, the outside is massively overfixed, the inside is all necrotic, but no one owns that tissue in between theatres and pathology. So it's in part that gap in ownership, and then, as you say, in part the pathologist dictates the state of play. But actually, I think the vacuum packing and refrigeration does seem to be a way towards compromise, because it does seem to suspend time, and it means then the pathologist is happy because the pathologist can batch handle all this tissue at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, seemingly to no detriment. So that does seem to be a middle road. You do need the pathologist to cut and mark up the tissue and extract the tumour and also describe the tumour. So I'm not seeing a way that they are taken out of the equation, but it is some kind of way of changing the pathways.
So they're fighting for the microphone now, so Glenn.
Some centres are actually better at it than others, so having been a misused clinical fellow before, it was my job to ensure that the sample was handled correctly and delivered on a silver platter to the histopathologist as a histopathologist wanted it. So I would dissect out the lesion, make sure that we took a number of different samples from that each of those small samples was sucking to formalin, and that I took it down there, or if a liquid nitrogen needed to be involved in a frozen sample, I would take the sample out of theatre, because theatre sister doesn't allow liquid nitrogen in theatre, and I would process that. Mike Dixon up in Edinburgh had a different approach. He brought the histopathologist to his unit, and he was self-contained. So the samples were taken out of the patient and moved them to the next door where the histopathologist was waiting for them and sampled them. But that's not going to happen in Bridgend, did you?
Bridgend on a Saturday afternoon.
I
Yes.
believe.
But maybe we ought to be getting hospital porters. I'm not being foolish about this.
You can get, that was in the good old days when junior doctors were paid 50p an hour and worked 100 hours a week and did what they were told. And then that's a system based on having a runner. The runner then happened to be a junior doctor. Porters are not going to do it. Those systems don't work.
Can I just, porters now doing poetry.
Can I just reply again to the question? I fully believe that the pathologist is a key individual in relationship to the pipeline. He is the person who makes the diagnosis on which the patient typically is going to be treated. And so I think that the idea that the pathologist is in some way bypassed is foolish and misleading and should be kind of knocked on its head immediately. I think
they are the go-no.
They make the diagnosis, and the treatment is based on those. They're part of the multidisciplinary meeting, etc. In the lymphoma sphere, most of the research is driven by lymphoma pathologists, primarily because they are the one who access the tissue. They make a decision in relationship to the diagnosis, and they see things down the microscope that nobody else can see from years of experience. I think the difficulty maybe is that the pathologists are either so busy that they don't have an opportunity to engage as fully as they should in relationship to cancer research across the gamut of the different cancers. But I'd be very strongly anti any suggestion that the pathologist should be sidelined in any shape or form.
Okay, so this gentleman at the back.
Hi, I'm David Smith. I'm at the Mayo Clinic and I'm a researcher. I absolutely hate FFPE. I do, but I agree that there is no way you're going to change a system. The pathologists are going to do stuff. They're not going to go away. They're not going to die. But the question remains.
It comes to us all in the end, you know.
FFPE stinks. It is useless for whole genome sequencing, and we're going to reach a point in cancer treatment where we're going to want to do that. So the question becomes, can we still do FFPE but take a section and freeze it? And how do we change the perception? Because it's impossible.
Okay, I'm going to take your question as well. This is going to be a cathartic session, ladies and gentlemen. If you have something that you feel you must let out, now is the moment. Sir.
Hi, my name's Christian. I'm from Horizon Discovery. I just wondered, given the fact that we'd asked if there was any pathologists in the room, and there didn't seem to be many, whether a lot of these problems come from just a lack of awareness of these problems in that profession, or indeed across the workflow more generally. And we're all sitting in this room because, as we've said, we're self-selecting and we're interested in improving these technologies, but whether there's just a big portion of the people involved in this that just don't even know it's an issue. Is that possibly the case?
So, in other words, we're not really telling them what our problems are, and actually, frankly, they're not telling us what their problems were. They probably are very unloved at this very moment.
So a comment to that with the 100,000 Genomes project, it's the edicts come from the NHS on high, down to the Genomic Medicine Centres, the NHS Trust. There are carrots and sticks attached, so it's actually quite interesting. There's actually a lot of the pathologists are really engaged because now their managers have to change workflow and provide manpower and enable pathways which otherwise weren't facilitated. So actually a lot of pathologists are on board about doing things differently because the systems are enabling them. So that's actually quite positive. And I think to speak to the point that you made from the back, that I think a lot of it is about logistics and pathways. In the UK, we don't have 7-day working. That's how it is. So if it's theatre on Friday, it's going to sit and fall in over the weekend. And kind of that's no one's fault until they fund additional staff to work in pathology and move to 7-day working. But actually talking to George Rees-Philo, worked in the UK and then moved to Memorial Sloan Kettering, and he said 7-day working because of diagnostic turnaround. They don't see a lot of what we were finding in our FFPE because it may not be perfect, but it's not nearly as bad as we see here. So I think that pathologists are often not unwilling, but it's just they're trapped within the constraints of the system and the logistics.
So actually that's been a very interesting thing about the 100,000 Genomes project. It's not just the technologies that we've been introducing and developing, it's actually dismantling all the old stuff. And I think actually in general with innovation, sometimes the reason that innovation doesn't get on as far as we would like is because we don't remove the old stuff. So there's a kind of, accretion over time, which really doesn't help.
From the point of view of taking frozen samples at the same time as paraffin-embedded samples, I've run a number of clinical trials where we've done that. It's not what they do standardly. You obviously have to engage the surgeon, you have to engage the pathology department within that hospital, and obviously you have to find somebody who's going to get the sample past sister to the liquid nitrogen. But it's simple to do, but it isn't standard currently at the moment in most hospitals. They will just stick it in the formalin because that's what they always do. And if you've got a long list of patients to get through, you're not necessarily going to engage your brain with regards to remembering to do something which isn't standard because you're trying to be innovative with regards to your surgery. So if that pressure's coming down from middle management within the NHS, then I would imagine there will be a change. initially in the larger hospitals, and then it'll filter down into the more peripheral one.
And I think the Genomics England kind of data that they showed today, where you can kind of keep for 48 hours a fresh frozen sample within a kind of a vacuum pack, you know, that type of information is key, because some people might worry that you have to get it into a freezer soonest or it won't be of any use. And I think that probably it opens a window where fresh frozen can actually be considered, but potentially not everywhere, but in relationship to specific collections for research and for specific clinical trials, it would seem to be a no-brainer that now needs to be put forward very strongly.
And also, as you said, we came up with the notion of a genomic block that's taken separately, and it's either a slice or a punch, and then that is treated in a particular way, which is ideally snap frozen, but otherwise very controlled fixation, as distinct from the diagnostic block, which would be business as usual.
But there's probably an opportunity for companies that are nowhere yet to come up with a really, really neat, practical solution as to how to do this.
I think one of the things is liquid nitrogen is not popular, and is cumbersome, and so some kind there are technologies that use isopentane, and then duals.
We can't hear you. Yeah.
We've used isopentane before in an attempt to try and maintain the morphometry of the sample, because if you just stick it in liquid nitrogen, that can, talking beyond my knowledge here, it can make it more difficult to look at the morphology of the slides. But again, that's something that theatre sister is going to look. So it's some negotiation, and one theatre sister is going to be easier than another theatre sister in another hospital. They will do things slightly differently in North Manchester to Stafford General. Just thinking of the North.
So, Glenn, any thoughts on that?
It's Russell.
Russell, sorry.
That's right. Well, no, I was actually thinking back to the question that was asked before about the FFP samples. And they are, like, from an automation point of view, and a standardisation point of view, they are a devil to work with from a genomics point of view. However, again, talking about what we can control and what we can't control, let's assume that we can't change the samples that are coming into us, and we are still getting those. We are certainly looking at trying to look at improved ways that we can make that more standardised at the moment in terms of how we get good data or good samples out of that. It's something that I think it's assumed that you can't get good quality genomic data out of FFP samples, or it's always going to be poor quality, but we've certainly, some of the work we did with Dana-Farber shows that if you put a bit more effort into it and you try and streamline that process, we can show we can get much more consistent data out of that, not for whole genome sequencing, for sure.
I think Europe and England is much more nimble than the United States, so maybe you guys are going to have to be the leader. Liquid nitrogen is terrible and the surgeon's going to freak out. Can we invent something else so that half the sample goes into FFP and something else goes into the magic mix?
Yeah.
And you guys be the leader for that, and then prove to the world, whole genome sequencing is coming for cancer, and you're not going to sequence whole genome out of paraffin unless you're insane.
Okay, how many people are from industry here? How many people are from industry? Right, I want you to take the word back. Magic mix, magic mix, cheap. Any other requirements? Cheap, easy, stable, doesn't freak sisters.
Safe.
Portable to the bedside.
Portable to the bedside, outpatients. Those are the requirements. Any venture capitalists here? Any venture capitalists? Where are they when you need them? Right. Okay. Any more thoughts on that? Any more thoughts? Do you know, this has been such a short but perfectly sweet panel discussion that I don't want to spin it out any longer unnecessarily. I want it to remain the perfect thing that it is. So on that, I'm going to thank our splendid panel coerced into this.